Greetings, family, greetings, brothers and sisters. Thank you for your continued support. Today, we are going to talk about Zimbabwe. There's this coin that they introduced because we know the Zimbabwean dollar, which was became like devalued to a point where we were saying $1 could be 1 billion Zimbabwean dollars. And Zimbabwe actually uses the US dollars to trade because of that. But we know Zimbabwe is one of the richest countries in Africa with gold, copper, a lot of minerals, precious stones. But corruption is at the peak. And we saw the president of Zimbabwe, Emmerson Mnangagwa, sometimes back going to speak to the president of Russia, Putin, and telling him that, man, we can learn from you. You have been sanctioned, and instead of going down, you're going up. How are you doing this? Of course, we know there's no corruption, not like in your country. So this guy was being interviewed in some, media, and Emmerson Mnangagwa said that Zimbabwe will be completely free from the US dollar by mid-2026. That is a year.
No, 2 years.
2 years, roughly. He said, in 2 years' time, in fact, 2 years is too far. We will get to a point where when I see that the Zim gold, that is the ZIG, is available in every part of the country, we are getting there. When you go to the shops carrying US dollars, they will refuse to accept them. It's crazy because the Zim gold is pegged to some, gold, some precious stones, and pegged to the dollar. Seriously, the dollar is what you call fiat currency. It isn't pegged to any mineral. So pegging your money to gold, then to dollar, it's ill-advised.
Yeah.
So he's saying that they'll stop depending on the dollar and start using the Zim gold. But the Zim gold is pegged to the dollar. It doesn't make sense. So last April, we saw the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe began issuing a new national currency, Zimbabwe gold, or ZIG for short, which is backed by 100 tons of gold and government foreign exchange reserves of $100 million. Interestingly, in the summer of 2019, the Zimbabwean government banned the circulation of the US dollar in the country. However, 9 months later, the ban was lifted. So that is history. It's there to teach us things. In 2019, they had said the same thing. Now they are back to go to dollars. So I don't know who advises the president. Zimbabwe, they were having the South African Development Community meeting in Harare, and the young people of Harare were organizing a protest, like a Gen Z protest, like in Kenya. I don't know what happened.
No, he threatened, I think. I think he threatened the young people to say, if you dare try.
Yeah, he threatened them. But come on, guys, you need to learn from Kenya.
But I think the fire will slowly spread to the rest of Africa, especially if Kenya wins and conquers, the fire will definitely spread. Kenyans have been silent for the longest time. They were celebrating their president, showing off his skills of Pan-Africanism in the outside world, only to press them in his own country. So I think the same thing will happen for the rest of
We saw Nigeria coming up in August 10th. We saw Ghana coming up in September. They actually gave the government a 3 months notice. Ghanaian people, man, you are good. You are so good to your government.
Yeah, not
3 months, bro.
Those guys can steal billions in just a day.
3 months.
A day.
No, you don't plan. You just tell people we are going there next week.
Yeah, it's time. We are fed up.
Yeah.
So I think for Zimbabwe really needs some serious intervention, because you can't say that you are leaving the dollar for the dollar. I mean, you can't.
Currency backed by the
it's
dollar.
It's still the dollar. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me.
It's like leaving CFA for the eco.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a disguised thing that is still owned by the same person that you are trying to run away from. And you know what is happening. You understand what is happening. But it doesn't make sense why these leaders keep on pulling us back instead of. We
talked about the boomers and Gen X. And I think what we need is the people, because Zimbabwe, a lot of people from Zimbabwe went abroad, We have a lot of learned doctors, engineers out there in Europe, in the US. And I'm sure there are a lot of young people out there, and they are just hoping that there's someone who can just light a spark. There are a lot of Zimbabweans in South Africa who ran away because there's nothing at home. Just light that spark to light a fire and have a whole new revolutionary government. Like, hey, yes, that's
Government
what
that is there
everybody
for its people.
in Africa wants, because the young people that we have right now are learned and they want to develop their countries. They don't want to go abroad. We want to be here. We want to be part of the fifth industrial revolution.
If the
in
diasporians want to
Africa.
come back home, why would you think we would want to go to
I
the
would,
diaspora? I
exactly.
mean, we are trying to make things work so that everybody can come
And the
back
problem with our leaders, especially in the East Africa, the famous leader, is when he talks about looking for jobs out there. You are an engineer, but you are going to become a cleaner, or you are a doctor,
home. In Qatar.
and you are going to become a housekeeper. It doesn't make sense at all. And I've seen this, but yesterday I was looking at some comments, and I saw a lady who was saying, I am a trained, she's gone through the university, and I think she said that she's a nurse, but she's out there cleaning houses, and actually she said cleaning toilets in Saudi Arabia.
That's what most of them go to.
So imagine that's what our president wants us to do. It doesn't make
The
sense.
reason you see people revolting against these things because
The
it
government,
doesn't make sense.
the government makes policies so that us, the young people, the people of a country, can develop businesses, employ others, develop more, and that is the growth. You cannot say I'm growing the country by bringing investors when you have finished the people. You cannot say I'm growing the country by getting new jobs abroad. It doesn't make sense. Wow. Okay, Zeke. Let's hope something will come out of Zeke.
I don't see
in
anything
Zeke.
coming out of
Not
that.
Zeke, maybe Zimbabwe.
Ah,
The young people of Zimbabwe, oh yeah, we say like the president of Tanzania, the former president of Tanzania, Magufuli.
Brothers and sisters, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think about Zig, Echo, and all these currencies that are just a reflection of what we've always heard? Honestly, it's just
By the way, Gaddafi wanted to introduce an African coin.
they eliminated.
It was called Afrique. Like Europe, this was called Afrique.
Maybe a Traore one day will rise to say, I will be standing in the place where Gaddafi was, and
Inshallah.
Africa would be liberated. Brothers and sisters, if you would like to support us, we have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description box down below, and we have our super chats and super thanks back. You can now support us using that also, and you can also support us by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing on the channel. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.